Hey, if you're watching this as a recording, welcome. Leave your comments below, and myself or team will help with any questions that you might have. We are talking the role that magnesium plays in your iron levels. It is critical. Please remember, though, I am not a doctor. I am not diagnosing. I am not telling you what to do. I am passionate about helping women get healthy because they change the world. And if you're not waking up feeling good, you're holding back your gifts from sharing them and making and creating that change that we need right now for our children. And this is one of my peeves, like, ugh, we've got to understand this. You've got to, in my opinion, understanding your iron panel blood work will help you understand what's happening in your body so that you can know what pathway you need to go on. So today we're talking about the role that soaking in magnesium plays in your body. Cell saturation, sea brine magnesium not diluted. Did you know if you don't have enough magnesium, even if you're eating all of the iron-rich foods, you are not starting the enzymatic process in your gut to uptake the iron from what you're eating. So you can have the iron, it could be there, but if you don't have enough magnesium, you're not starting the enzymes. Think of magnesium like the spark plug when it comes to iron. It has to start the enzymatic process so that you can uptake the iron from your food in your gut. Please soak in magnesium. I've been talking magnesium and soaking in magnesium for 25 years. Let's get to cell saturation so that our bodies have the magnesium it needs to get started. Now, the other thing that magnesium does is it has been shown in studies. Remember, I'm not a doctor, not diagnosing. It has been shown in studies to help play a role in reducing inflammation. If you have high inflammation, you are blocking your iron. So you've got the iron in your body, you've got the inflammation which blocks it, and if you're low in magnesium, you are not going to have the ability to tap into that. We've got to reduce inflammation. Magnesium has been shown to be the master mineral in reducing inflammation. If you have high inflammation, you are blocking iron. Kristen, how do I know if I have high inflammation? Are you waking up in the morning stiff and your shoulders hurt and you're like the Tin Man? That you've got to straighten everything out, that can be an indication of high magnesium. Do you have issues in your knees? That can be an indication of not high magnesium, high inflammation. If your back is bothering you and your spine isn't fluid and moving, that can be an indication of high inflammation. High inflammation blocks iron. It blocks the iron. So magnesium, soaking in magnesium, doing the 30-day challenge, committing to yourself. I am taking care of myself. Healthy women are creative women, and you have to be able to create time and space to take care of yourself with all of the things that you do. All of the things. And you may think, oh, I don't have time. Yes, you do. Don't buy into time poverty lies. You can create that space and time to do the 30-day challenge, get your magnesium levels up so your inflammation drops, so you're not blocking iron, and that you can absorb the iron in your gut, because without enough magnesium, you're not jump starting the enzymes to be able to absorb the iron in your gut. Now, one of my goal today, my very specific goal, is to help you understand the role magnesium plays and help you read your iron blood panels. Are you ready? Let's go. Grab a pen and pencil because you might want to take some notes. In my opinion, understanding this is key to your health. Knowing your magnesium red blood cell number knowing where it's at. Are you at 6.3? It's not a perfect test, but it does open a window and tell us if our body is absorbing and utilizing the magnesium. That's the first step. I spoke with a woman over the weekend that I'm working with, and she was like, I've got to take care of my iron. I'm so exhausted. And then I'll focus on magnesium. That's, in my opinion, that was backwards thinking, because you can do all the things for your iron. You can take Floridex. Floridex is one of my favorite plant food sources of iron if you feel like you need to get more in your body. Shelly's throwing a link up right now, and probably already, oh, she does. She already has it up, to Floridex. You can buy it locally at health food stores. You can buy it online. The quality is the same. Floridex is a great plant food source of iron and is very absorbable for most people. Remember though, the more magnesium you have in your body, the more benefits you're going to get from the Floridex. So we have to start at the beginning with getting to magnesium cell saturation so that our body can access that iron. Okay, so let's go over your blood test. If you've been on a live before, you know I'm a little squirrely. That's what my husband has me do in the store when I take off. It's just a joke between him and I because I saw something and I squirreled, and then it takes us 20 minutes to find each other. I really want to be linear today. I have notes. I think it can feel disingenuous when someone looks to the side. I have keywords that will help me stay on track. I'm not going to answer or interact with anyone until the end so that we've got this linear process of your blood work. And so when I'm looking to the side, I'm looking at my post-it note to make sure I'm hitting every single part of your lab work. So let's go. The first one we want to talk about is your serum on your iron panel, your iron serum. And that is the total amount of iron in your blood. Iron serum, total amount of iron in your blood. Then we're going to go to total iron binding capacity. So you'll usually see that as TIBC, total iron binding capacity. And that is how much iron your blood is carrying. How much iron did your blood pick up? And is it carrying that iron in your body? And then we're going to go to transferrin. Transferrin is the protein carrying the protein that carries it. How much do you have? That transferrin, how much can you carry? It's like asking, how much weight can you lift? Oh, hello, McLean Mathis. Hello, welcome. So glad that you're here. How much iron protein do you have the ability to carry in your body? Because if you can't carry it, you're not getting benefit from it. And then ferritin is the iron stored in your body. And the relationship of these is as important as the numbers on your blood work. And so as we learn the relationship of each of these on our blood panel, that's when we really start to get that feedback in our body. What is happening in our body. And so when you look at your iron panel, and some people, it's cheaper to get that through their insurance because their copay is low and their doctor will run that. Some people have a very high threshold, 10,000, very, very high threshold, and it might be cheaper to order the labs online. The beautiful thing now is we have labs that we can go to online. I prefer walk-in labs. Shelly will throw a link up to that. Thank you, Shelly. Shelly will throw a link up to that. That's the lab that I prefer. It's the one. I've seen other labs when I've run big groups and everyone gets everything tested and everything comes back exactly the same. What? How can 100 and like 110 women have exactly the same blood work. When I do that with walk-in labs in big groups, we're getting real feedback and variances. So that's why I love walk-in labs. And Shelley's thrown up that link. You can actually pay for your iron lab just out of pocket, or with HSA or FSA, check into the details of that and what is best for you. But you can get that blood work yourself and have access to it. I know one of the things that just happened to me is I lost access to all of my labs. The portal of my health insurance, they archived it and now I can't access it. That exactly is why I have a filing box for my labs. I always have a hard copy of my labs that I put in that filing box. The other benefit of doing that is you can compare from year to year. Oh, wait a minute, where was my iron binding capacity at last year? Oh, I've dropped. And I'm more tired. And so that way you can do that compare and contrast over the years. And I've got that going back for years and years now. So I've got lots of data that I can pull from. Now I've entered that digitally so that I can visually see those patterns. I will never get rid of my old school filing because you might lose access to the digital. You know, lots of things can happen, and it is vital for me to see those patterns in my body. The first year you might feel like, oh, is this really worth it? But the second year, when you add that second year of labs and you can compare, where was my ferritin last year compared to this year? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? One of my favorite tests for inflammation is a C-reactive protein. When you take that C-reactive protein, it's not a test that you take every month. I take it 1 to 2 times a year just to show, where is my inflammation moving? Is it going up? Is it going down? Because that's an inflammation marker. It's a slow moving test. So it's not a test that you would take, ooh, it's high, and then work on things to drop your inflammation and take it 3 weeks later. It doesn't work like that. It's a very slow moving test. So 1 or 2 times a year, but once you get your first year and then you get your second year, what an incredible gauge for yourself to see where it's going. Oh, my ferritin is lower this year. My ability to carry iron is lower this year. And then that way you can take action based on your personal blood work. I will die on this hill of understanding your iron panel. And it's not one that we can just learn in 10 minutes. Like, we went over all of those things that are on your iron panel and what they do. And it's the relationship that, as you learn the relationship of your ferritin to your iron saturation, it's the relationships that are important within that. Now, the first step, though, because that's like a second advanced step. So let's go back to the first step. You now understand, when you look at your iron blood panel, okay, I understand what these things are doing, what they represent in my body. Then your lab will give you places to be, percentages. It needs to be between this and this. And here's what happens. Most, not all, but most doctors, if you fall within that percentage, oh, you're good. What if you're at the bottom of that percentage, but that's not optimal for your health? What if you're at the top of that percentage, but with your ferritin, you don't feel as good with that much ferritin? Because too much ferritin can rust out your body, just like not enough ferritin can absolutely trash your body. And so learning where your body feels best. So whenever I get my blood work, I will put notes on the side of the blood work, on the physical blood work. This is how my energy is. This is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm waking up. I'm feeling good. I'm waking up energized, or oh, I'm a little bit lower in my energy and my brain. If your brain is foggy, that could be an iron issue. And that always connects with a magnesium issue because your oxygen is carried by iron and you need magnesium to be able to start that process. So making sure that you're at cell saturation while you focus on building your iron becomes incredibly important. Hold on just one sec. And how can we forget desiccated liver? Right? Such a great source. We've talked about Floridex as a plant source and desiccated liver to really help build your iron. And as always, some people can't take either of those sources of iron. The desiccated liver may make their stomach hurt. Then we know we've got a hydrochloric acid issue and maybe a bottomed out ferritin issue that you need to build so that your body can absorb this. And so remember, the iron has lots of layers because your body is a complex machine. It's not just, oh, look at that. Oh, everything's in range. My iron is good. It's a more complex relationship than that. So making those notes of on your iron panel of how you're feeling when that was taken is going to start giving you insight into what's best for you. Your third year, you may recognize, oh, I don't feel good with my ferritin at 150. I feel better with it at 100 because of other protein and copper and zinc things that are happening in your body. You won't know that though unless you are using that compare and contrast and taking notes and looking at your iron from last year and the year before and making sure that you're running that test. Now, it used to be my insurance would pay for that test twice a year. Now, I sometimes have to fight to have it paid for once a year. So I will have my insurance do as much as I can with my doctor, working with my doctor, and then I also pay for it out of pocket because I want it tested more than once a year because I want optimal health, not just baseline health. I want it optimized. I expect a lot from my body. I have a lot I want to do. And because of that, I invest to make sure that my body is running optimally. Oh, where are you at? How's your iron? Let's, excuse me, let's go back and see if we've got, oh my gosh, that mic is there on that part of my earphone. Right when I coughed in it, I realized I coughed right on you. So, do you know your iron? Have you focused on your magnesium? Did you recognize the importance of the role that magnesium plays in your iron? If you're doing all of these things for iron and your magnesium levels aren't up, your iron can just sit in your body and not be utilized. And that can cause issues. You know, you can be taking all this desiccated liver and feeling good. Oh, I feel better. Well, that's because it's got whole food B's and whole food D and all sorts of good things. But if you don't have enough magnesium to start it and move it, you can just be building the iron in your body. And that is why for 25 years I've been saying, this is the foundation. This is where we start. We don't chase symptoms. You and I are women that recognize building a strong foundation for our health is faster, easier, and less expensive with less stress. We build a foundation that starts with magnesium. Once we've got that up, we can add other things in to help support that iron panel. Your iron panel Your vitamin D levels, your magnesium levels, and your iron panel are, in my opinion, three of the most important pieces of blood work that you can take. Now, your vitamin D is pretty easy when you look at it to read. You've got active vitamin D, you've got stored vitamin D. You want your active to be higher than your stored, and your magnesium levels, we want at 6.3 or above, so that we know your magnesium has the ability to take that stored vitamin D and convert it into active vitamin D, right? Pretty simple on that blood work. Then when you move to your iron blood work, it's a little bit more advanced. It's a little bit more complex. It's a little bit more about the relationship and learning about how they work with each other and learning about how you feel. And here's where I see a gap in when we say we want optimal health, we want it now, and we don't look at it as a journey. I want to feel good now, and I want to feel good now too. And there are things that we can do to get you feeling better right now. There are tools. There's short-term decisions and there's long-term decisions. And we have to make sure that we're doing both of those short-term things that will help us feel better, but also looking at the long game. Storing your blood work and having copies of your blood work is the long game. That's the long game. That's something that we can do to look at how our body is working within that blood work. And is blood work perfect? Absolutely not. There's not one blood work panel that you can have done that is perfect. We're looking for insights, not perfection, when it comes to blood work. For example, potassium. Did you know when they take your potassium that the tighter that they put the band, when they tie that around your arm, changes your potassium levels on your blood work, completely skews it. And now they're saying potassium blood work doesn't even show. I don't even look at potassium blood work. I track my potassium to see how much my body is getting. And so blood work isn't perfect. It is a window, though, and can help give us data and feedback to personalize that journey. There are foundational pieces that all of us need. And then it's very individualized what needs to happen. Magnesium is that foundational piece that everyone needs. Building voltage. Building voltage starts with magnesium. If your cells don't have voltage, nothing's going to work as well. How do we create voltage? We start with magnesium, potassium, and salt. And some people can start just with magnesium. Other people need to make sure their potassium levels are stronger before they start the magnesium so that their potassium doesn't drop even lower. Barbara, this is a fabulous question. In fact, I think there's a way I can put it on the screen. I think that's showing up on the screen. I've always been told there is no way to truly measure magnesium. It is so important, and the entire philosophy here at Living the Good Life Naturally, and has been this from the beginning of time, is creating health takes two things: holding on to grandma wisdom, taking care of the basics, hydration, sleep, movement, and also staying current at the same time. And so holding on to that grandma wisdom and staying current in our environment. Currently, the level of bacteria and virus load that we carry is completely different than what our grandparents carried. And we are having to do different things to support our body. That's currency. While we hold on to grandma wisdom and make sure we're eating well, we're moving, we're gathering sunshine, we're hydrated. those kinds of things. Currently, the most updated information that we have learned about magnesium blood work is this, that a magnesium red blood cell test is not perfect. It does not look at the magnesium in your bones. It looks at the magnesium around the red blood cell. That red blood cell, what's on the inside, is representative of what's in your interstitial spaces. The interstitial space magnesium levels are the most critical magnesium levels in your body. That is why for 25 years I have been singing it from the rooftop. I appreciate those of you who have helped me share this video and help me get the word out. Yes, magnesium pills can help you. Yes, they show benefit, but they can't move the interstitial space where your body pulls from. Your magnesium red blood cell test will help show and is on par with where the magnesium levels are in your interstitial spaces. But Kristen, I can buy magnesium so much cheaper other places. Is it really cheaper? This magnesium, I took the label off. They sell it for so cheap. And yes, you get some benefit from it. You'll relax. It would take so much more time, money, effort, energy to get the benefit from magnesium, and you'll never get the full benefit from flakes because the flakes have been processed. Think of this as your homemade sourdough bread, and this is Wonder White bread. And this very popular brand is processed with road grade magnesium. That's why they can sell it so cheap to you. Sometimes the adage of you get what you pay for, truly, you get what you pay for. If it's road magnesium, it has more impurities in it, which means you're uptaking those. And because it's been processed, Wonder White bread is never going to help your gut like sourdough bread. So think sourdough bread, Wonder White bread. Magnesium flakes are not going to get the benefits that soaking in magnesium does of getting your body to cell saturation. And we know that isolated nutrition doesn't work to the full benefit of our body. If it did, we could eat a box of cold cereal and get 100% of everything we need. That's isolated nutrition. When you take a magnesium pill, you walk into the health food store and think, oh, I'm being so healthy because I'm taking this magnesium pill. It's isolated synthetic magnesium and it has lost the full benefits of a natural sea brine magnesium that is the mined from the only place that is certified by the European Union. It's never watered down. My family packs it and bottles it. Like, we don't buy the bottle and then white label it. We import it from the Zechstein inside. It comes in sealed to us straight from the mine. No hands have touched it. Straight from the mine, it's in that bottle. And then we bottle it in our labs in Logan, Utah. My daughter is in charge of that. The company has grown enough that I can't do that and do the lives and all the other things. And so my daughter came on and said, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of helping women feel better, Mom. And so she is the warehouse manager and formulator for our products. Full brine magnesium that's not watered down. Yes, you can go buy magnesium that's from Zechstein inside, and one company waters it down 20 parts water to 1 part magnesium. That's not going to move your health. My health crashed. My goal is to help women feel better. When women feel better, we change the world and we make it better for children. And that's ultimately what drives living the good life naturally. You don't get that with processed magnesium, diluted magnesium. You need the gold standard, undiluted, from the cleanest source, never processed. It's a beautiful source of magnesium to start to build your foundation. And understanding that blood work piece, and Barbara, I'm so grateful that you asked that question, because understanding magnesium red blood cell is not a perfect blood work test. It does show us the interstitial spaces. It does show us that. And that's what I want to know. I want to know, how much magnesium do my organs have access to? How much is in that interstitial space? And what's in the magnesium? The red blood cell is indicative of what that interstitial space is. Now, the labs dropped their standard, Barbara, years ago, years and years ago. It was always 6.3, and then all of a sudden my lab started coming back as 5 was the standard. So I called and said, wait, why is 5 the standard now? And they said, oh, nobody reaches it. And so collectively across the board, it was determined that 5 will be the new standard, because people just aren't getting to 6.3. Just because everybody else is getting sicker does not mean I want to be a part of that group. I want nothing to do with that. We are sicker as a society this year than we were last year. Living the good life naturally is trying to stop that. Not trying. My husband and father-in-law would say only a steer tries, which is gross. It does give a visual, though. We're not trying. We are stopping that. Our clients are healthier because they're soaking in magnesium and achieving cell saturation. Over 10,000 now. Over 10,000 people that are healthier because they're building a strong foundation. And recognizing that when your doctor takes that blood work of magnesium, he's testing your serum. Magnesium is so important to life that your body will pull from your bones, from your organs, from your heart, from your gut, to keep your serum at 1%, because you will die if it's not at 1%. Well, that's great. We don't want, I don't want to die from no magnesium, but that won't show a problem until right before you're about to die. I want to know, what do my organs have access to? Excuse me, I didn't bring my water. I was trying to do a recipe today in my kitchen, and I thought I had all my gear figured out, and then hit a total roadblock with it. And so I had to quit, come back over here and reset things up. So it was a little bit of a scurry. So I didn't bring my water. So I apologize for the cough. Okay. What's interesting about iron blood test? Oh, if your doctor doesn't run, and hello, Sherry, if your doctor doesn't run a full panel, it won't show iron saturation. Absolutely. And more, because insurance is ruling our health, in my opinion, not doctors, not the people, and not naturopaths. The insurance is guiding this. And last week, I just needed time to mourn. I've seen it coming for a long time, but we're officially full on there, that money is going to dictate how healthy you are. Money. And being able to pay for things out of pocket because our insurance won't pay for it, or because insurance is so expensive, you have garbage insurance, or because your insurance has denied you. My husband is facing major health issues from a genetic disorder that he was born with. And it's taking money, so much money, things that our insurance won't pay for, that they say is not proven. But there's years worth of testing done in Europe, but they won't look at it because it wasn't done in the United States. And we are full on at the point that money will determine how healthy you can be. And that breaks me, breaks me. And so we have to be doing those things that don't take money. In fact, let's do some right now. collarbone down 2 inches, in 2 inches. There's like a little hole. I want you just to take your fingers, and if you want to, you don't have to. If you're driving, don't do it. And just rub. And that's K27, and all of your wiring junctions right here. And push in a little bit and rub. And if it's tender, you will increase flow in your body by just rubbing this. I like to go counterclockwise and clockwise. And that big breath, it'll help reset. It'll help reset you. We have to be even more proactive with our time, with what we're doing, with how we manage our cortisol, and so that we're not having the basics covered. We have to hold on to that grandma wisdom. And one of the solutions that I've found that I am getting ready to talk about, I'm not ready to talk about it yet, because I've got to gather and collect more data. One of the solutions that we're using is very expensive, and there might come a time I can't afford it. I'm worried about that. And mourning, what about the people who can't afford it at all? You know, and it's making a huge difference. So stay tuned. I am prepping to get ready to talk about it, but I'm not quite ready. And we've got to hang on to that grandma wisdom, and we've got to make sure that we're staying current. And the most current way to test our magnesium red blood cell is the magnesium red blood cell test. Shelley's popped that link up of my favorite place to have it tested. And that is an affiliate link. And my affiliate links go to humanitarian. One of the things that drives me in the company is to be able to do more humanitarian work. And there are two places that we put it. And one is the Starfish Foundation, and the other is Little Lambs. So one is global and one is local. It's very important to me that the company be a part of solutions for people. And so that affiliate link, so grateful when people use that. And a few of you do. And I want to make sure that I'm very transparent on that. It is an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you more, but I think I think it's $1.25 when you buy, when you click on that link, and then you buy your lab work. And then I take that money every month and I divide it between those foundations, so that we're a part of the solution here at Living the Good Life Naturally, and helping to lift, because healthy women lift those around them. And I want to be a part of that. So thank you for helping me when you use that link. um, oh, Elaine, you're so welcome. I'm not sure. Oh, Sylvia, it is. And there's I've hesitated to say about that money is now determining how healthy you can be, because it's so easy to buy into that broken lie that you have to have money to create health. There are so many things that we can do that don't cost money. And there are some things that we have to do that do cost money. And so holding that new truth of where we're at as a society without buying in to fear and walking away from things and giving up is a new balance that people are having to carry. And I had to give myself time to mourn. Those of you who have worked with me before know that I'm really into setting a date for things, for mourning or letting things go. And I needed a full month to really hold on to this, look at it, evaluate this new place that I see us at as a society of having to put out of pocket for optimal health. And not just a few things, but there's new things coming out that are game changing, but are very expensive, that are just pricing some people out of having access to it. And that makes me sad. And I'm giving myself a full month. And so July 31st when I go to bed. I'll be done mourning and I will step into action. But I've really been holding that, being aware of it, looking at solutions, feeling all the big feelings, because I've always tried to be a part of that solution. And it feels like a bit of a failure, a bit of a failure in the system and the processes that it takes for optimal health. Oh, that was a little heavy. So let's do some more. Let's just like do a little bit here. Just a little bit of tapping, just to help breathe, recognize we're in this new place and we're not giving up. We're not walking away. It is a new place to be in. And we are still focused on creating optimal health, and it is still possible. We have to up our game to meet the new challenges. We have to not be perfect, not focus on perfection. Perfection walks us away from holding on to our magnesium. We have to take that grandma wisdom and take action. Ask yourself. I know one of the places I can lose time is scrolling on my phone. I could have done other things to optimize my health versus scrolling on my phone and screwing with my dopamine levels and staying stuck in that emotion of scrolling. And so we have to watch those things and be more aware and step up our own personal game so that we can maintain that optimal health. My RBC is 5.7. I was impressed with that. Oh, Elaine, that just heart bombed me. Thank you. I'm so grateful you took that action, and I feel it a privilege to be, side by side with you in the journey. I always want to make sure when I talk, I'm not talking from a place of perfection on top. I'm in the trenches working it right along with and sharing what I've learned and what can make a difference. And my perspective is my family's been hit with hard health challenges. A daughter, a husband, myself, we've just been hit with hard things, and many other people have too. And some people don't have that level of hard. My family does, and that's one of the reasons why I've been in the trenches learning so much. And my goal is to share that with people, Elaine. And so that to me is everything. That's like the culmination of all my dreams and goals in the company. And you just helped me to recognize that that happened. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. Adding where you're at 5.7 and that goal is 6.3, the gold standard. One of the things that you could look at, if it's appropriate for you, is adding some taurine, simple amino acid, very inexpensive, and taking that taurine dose, because taurine will help you hold magnesium in your cells. Taurine is, you can look at whole food sources of taurine. You can look at supplementing. Supplementing tends to do it very quickly so that you can move on to the next thing. Not throwing food under the bus, because food is power and healing. I personally would go the supplement route so I could get my magnesium red blood cell up if I wasn't at 6.3. Not walking away from food and recognizing the power and importance, but also recognizing that simple amino acid can help you hold on to that magnesium more efficiently to get you at 6.3 or above. But remember, it is an isolated piece of nutrition, right? It's just like a magnesium pill. It's pulverized, heated, isolated, put down a conveyor belt to make it easy and simple to ship to you. And so remember that too much taurine can drop thyroid function, and making sure that you're going, my opinion is low and slow. I'm not sure where I heard that term, but I loved it. Low and slow to see how your body handles it. The starting dose is typically 500 milligrams. You can go up to 2000, but I see a lot of people tank thyroid function at 2000. And sometimes we can buy that, more more taurine can help me more efficiently, but more taurine can tank your thyroid. My husband's philosophy is the smallest amount, and I can tend to jump in there and, oh, I want it all, and it'll be so good, and do it in a big way. And my husband just, nope, Kristen, just take a little. We just take a little. And so I would start at 500 milligrams and see if that helps you hold on to your magnesium more efficiently. Oh, and so, Elaine, you really want to make sure with your taurine that you're not overdoing it because you're having to supplement with those thyroid hormones. Your body is making some still, even without, but you're needing to supplement those thyroid hormones that are so critical for health. And we want to make sure that taurine's appropriate and taken in appropriate doses. So always, anytime we're learning anything on the internet, we've got to filter it through our body and where our body's at, and is that a good fit for me? And but that taurine can really help jump you from 5.7 up to 6.3, because we know, and I'll wrap around to what we were talking about in the beginning, we know when you have enough magnesium that your body starts the enzyme process to break the iron down in your gut, because that's where iron absorption is happening, is starts in your gut. If you don't have enough magnesium, you're not starting and utilizing the enzymes you need to do that. That's why magnesium is the foundation. We don't chase, we build. Chasing is expensive, it's exhausting, and it takes forever. And we get overwhelmed, discouraged, and give up and end up with a room, maybe not a room full of supplements, but a cupboard full of supplements that we don't know why we bought them, or we're not taking them anymore. That is an indication that you might be chasing. We build. We recognize magnesium starts the enzyme process to absorb magnesium, to absorb iron in our gut. And that iron is your levels of oxygen, and your copper and your zinc play a role. And it's this beautiful complex relationship. And sometimes when you start talking about the complexity of iron, women can get overwhelmed because they're already burdened. And then you're saying, well, you need to learn this dance. You need to build this relationship with your iron and your blood work and your education and your information, and compare it and store it. And they're, oh my gosh, are you serious? I'm already overwhelmed. And then you put all that information on of iron and you're even more overwhelmed. And so at that point, we need to make sure we're taking micro actions. So if today overwhelmed you, if you're like, oh my heck, Kristen, I can't add another thing, go back to simplicity, go back to the beginning and take a micro action. What's the beginning? Magnesium. Interstitial levels of magnesium. How do you get that tested? Your magnesium red blood cell. That's how you get it tested. That way, you're ensuring that you have the enzyme processes to absorb the iron in your gut. That's the first action step. And taking those micro actions. You don't have to do that all at once. You don't have to do it today. You do need to take a micro action, or you'll tend to get more and more overwhelmed. The more information, and we're in the information overload stage in our world. There is so much information and so much to learn. And we're the smartest about health we've ever been, but we're the sickest we've ever been, because all the details that we've learned about health is disconnecting us from being healthy. Take action. You're going to hear me say that every time. I have people ask me, Kristen, every time at the end of your lives, you say, what's your takeaway? What's the most powerful thing that you learned in this moment you and I had together? Actually, 50 minutes. I didn't plan on going this long. 50 minutes that you and I had together today. What's your takeaway action piece? I am going to ask that as often as I remember, because if you're just learning information from me and you're not putting anything into action, I've been a part of widening the gap to worse health for you. I don't want that to happen. My goal is to support and to help women feel better so that we make the world a better place for children. For us. My children, your children, their children, all the children. They need us to show up as our best selves. Those people around us that we love, they need the best version of us. And if you're not healthy, you're not getting the best version of you, and people are missing out. So, what's your action thing? I don't want to be a part of just adding more information to your head, more things to overwhelm you, more things that you have to do. Yeah, there is a lot to learn. Our bodies are complex and beautiful, and we're living in a complex time in history that our bodies have been bombarded and assaulted with bacteria and virus, never before. We do have to learn. Action is more important than learning something else. And if you're just learning, it feels like you're doing all these things to get healthy, but you're not. Action creates health. And healthy women remember that and they take action. Healthy women take action. What is your action piece? I'd love to know. Type it in the comments. I would absolutely love to know what your action piece is. And I'm waiting to see. I'm just going to sit here and wait. What is your action item from our time together today? I don't want to be a part of just adding to overwhelm. We've talked about so many things. We've talked about iron storage. We've talked about total iron binding capacity. We've talked about um, ferritin. We've talked about, what else did we talk about? Oh, transferrin, how much protein you have to carry the iron. What's your action piece? What are you walking away with that you can put into place? Is it hydration? Because being hydrated supports your magnesium. Optimal hydration. Right now, my mouth is so dry. As soon as I'm done with this live, I will go add some hydration to my body. That's my action piece. My little coughs I've had to do is because I'm dry. I rolled right into work this morning. I didn't do my typical morning routine because I wanted to do something for you in my kitchen. I'm not giving up though. I'm not giving up, and I am going to figure out the tech, and I'm going to ask for other people around me to help me figure out the tech. My son, my husband, Shelly. I'm going to figure out the tech because I have something I want to share with you from my kitchen, and I'm going to get it figured out. But my action piece will be taking water. Oh, Jackie, missed the beginning, but going to re-listen while you soak. Jackie, I would love to send you some magnesium. Thank you for sharing your action piece. I appreciate it because other women will see you taking action and then they'll realize, oh, I need to go soak in magnesium. And it's not because of anything I said, it's because you took action, left that comment. And so I would just like to say thank you to you. So, Jackie, you today, what date is it? Today is July 23rd. You have to reach out to Shelly today, July 23rd, at you can go to the website Living the Good Life Naturally and find our emails. When I throw them out, I get spam stuff, and I don't want to get all that junk. So go to the website, Jackie, to see the our email. Livingthegoodlifenaturally.com is the website. Go find that email on the website. I believe it's down at the bottom. Reach out to Shelly and she will send you a jug, a 32-ounce bottle of magnesium as my way of saying thank you. Team will get that out to you. Debbie, compare notes. Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Debbie. You're very kind. And I appreciate those kind words. Thank you. Colleen, current goal, circadian rhythm living, and magnesium is the piece of that. Having a strong circadian rhythm increases your flow and increases your body's ability to hold on to that magnesium. Have a beautiful day. Debbie, you must reach out on July 23rd or that gift goes away. Sometimes we have people reach out a year later, 6 months later, and then we can't even find what we were talking about. So it has to happen today, Debbie, before Shelley leaves at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So it has to happen today. I would go do it right now if you could. But thank you so. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? I just messed up. So I'm going to do two. So Debbie and Jackie. I had originally said Jackie and then I said Debbie. And so I'll do two. So Debbie, you must reach out to Shelley today. Debbie and Jackie. Jackie Ben Bahan. I'm not saying that right. And Debbie Bales. You must reach out today to Shelley. Go to the website. Tell Shelley you were on this live, and she'll get that shipped out to you today. It was delightful being with you. Have the best day. Bye bye.